Hello and welcome. It's the 14th of September. It's a Saturday. Tense times at the allotment at the minute for two reasons. Got the annual plot inspections on Monday, so we're in the process of just making sure everything's neat and tidy and we're growing things and not too many weeds and it looks maintained and stuff. And secondly, today is the day of the local horticultural show. So I entered for the first time last year and somehow got first prize with my onions. First and second. First and second.
Which one's which?
That. Look at that.
Oh damn, well done.
Yeah. So, been assessing yesterday what I could enter. Flower category is out. My sunflowers are all failed this year. I thought I could enter some sweet peas, but they seem to have been recently infested with a load of green fly. But it's nice, a lot of ladybirds on there. In fact, I think they're the first ladybirds I've seen this year. The only real flowers I've got left are verbena, which look nice, but there wasn't really a category that suited them. But getting in a wildlife front like the ladybirds, we're starting to see a load of butterflies out now, which have been a bit sparse during the year. So maybe the weather's drying out, I don't know, but just looking across at the allotment, it's nice to see a load of butterflies fluttering about. So what am I going to enter? I look around. Bearing in mind I can't pull everything up because I've got the plot inspection on Monday, so I want to keep it look like I'm growing things and I'm active here, so I couldn't be bothered to clean some potatoes to enter the potato category. Pumpkins aren't going to win the biggest pumpkin competition because of the variety, the jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. So I'm going to enter onions again this year, and I'm going to try in the beetroot category and the cherry tomato category. So in terms of prep for this horticultural show, I went down before I entered to see what display rules are. So a paper plate's fine. They did mention that we're running out of horticultural grit where you can put underneath your tomatoes. So I was thinking, where can I get some sandy gritty material? So unfortunate for me, we've got sandy gritty material quite close at hand. I'll put that sand back after. But so I need to dry that out, so I had to put it in the oven on a baking tray. So I've got the bed for our tomatoes. I'm trying to find 6 that were decent and looked the same size was the challenge. But we picked 6 and we entered that. Not sure if I'm going to win that category because that's quite a popular category, but it's only a bit of fun. In terms of the rest of the prep, I did buy some raffia the other day, some raffia ribbon. I got it in 3 colours, natural, red and green. In terms of the onions, look, I just went with natural on them. Peeled the outer layers of the onion skin off. They haven't been sort of stored for as long as when I entered last year, so you know, there's sort of brown, sort of white. I think it's a nice mix. Last year they were just fully brown, but I think they should be alright. They'll look good. Again, a little bit of sand underneath to just finish it off. Then in terms of the beetroot, I cleaned them off, just give them a sort of light wash. I did read that if you put them in salt water for a couple of hours, it enhances the red colour, so hopefully that'll help. They're not really all identical, but I think they look okay. But then it's what colour raffia do I use on my beetroot? Natural, sort of red to match in the colour of the beetroot or green. I eventually went with the green raffia. I think the red just blended in too much. The greens kind of ties in. Hopefully green raffia will be accepted by the judges. We will see, we will see. So, I said tense times at the minute. I'm just waiting about an hour till the results are out and I can go back and see how we've done. So I'm just pottering around the allotment at the minute, just tidying up, ready for the plot inspection. So we'll come back for a bit of a plot tour later, probably tomorrow. In the meantime, fingers crossed for my second time entering the local horticultural show. Let's see how we get on. So it's a week later, it's the 21st of September. So the results are in of both the horticultural show and of the plot inspection. So horticultural show, 2 second places. 1 second place for the beetroot, 1 second place for the onions. So I'll take that, I'll take that. We won't mention the cherry tomatoes. A hot category that was, very competitive. So we'll tell you the results of the plot inspection in due course, but let's have a wander down the plot, maybe pick a few things along the way, show you what's going on. So we'll start with the strawberries at the front, all producing runners to produce some nice strawberry plants. We'll head up the grassy lawn for the usual panoramic view of the plot. And we'll head down to this bed here. Some chat about sweet corn. Right, so before we start on the sweet corn, at the back there there's the sweet peas that have been ravaged by the green fly. Depending which aspect you look at, they've got some flowers around the back, so they're starting to produce seed pods now, so we'll just leave them as is. We've got some chard just growing very slowly around the corner. And we've got some pak choy here that has the only couple that have escaped the slugs. It's not been a good year for sweet corn. We've got about 6 plants left that germinated and escaped the slugs, so we did plant about 30, but we've got 6, so some of the cobs are almost ready, but I think there's 1 or 2 that are ready, so the tassels on the top have gone nice and brown. So I'm going to pick a sweet corn and let's have a look at it, see if it's ready. Snapped off okay, so like I say, the tassels at the top are all dried off. Exciting, exciting. Let's open it up, see what we've got. There we go, there we go. We've got a sweet corn. Yes, very good, very good. I will see if there's any others ready at the minute, but oh, that is better than nothing, that is better than nothing. And we'll wander along to the next bed, have a look at some beans. So we've got 2 types of bean. We've got some dwarf French bean, purple queen, dwarf, yeah, so they're only supposed to sort of get to that height, but they're producing some nice beans now. And over here we've got Blue Lake French beans. These purple ones sown right at the end of June in desperation to try and get some beans after all the beans are sowed in May all got demolished by slugs. And these green French beans sown right at the start of July. They're not a dwarf variety, so I originally just put 3 canes. They've reached the top of that. I had to cobble the structure on top of that. I don't know how it's staying up, but it is, and they're producing some beans now, lots of flowers, so they're good. These should be okay, as long as it doesn't get too cold and wet and autumnal too soon, but yeah, we're eventually good with the beans. On to the pumpkins just behind me. So my one surviving pumpkin plant, jack-o'-lantern, I did sow 30 or 40 pumpkin seeds. Most of those germinated. There's some bigger variety of pumpkins, but recurring theme, they all got eaten by slugs. So this is the one remaining pumpkin plant. I did my onions in here, so I think the smell of that helps to ward off the slugs. So I've got 4 pumpkins on this plant, 2 down there, not quite ripe, so I've cut off all the leaves so they get maximum sunlight, and I've got 2 here that are ready. The stems are really hard, so they're ready to harvest. Let's pull them off and have a look. There we go. Small but perfectly formed. What are we looking at next? Prize winning beetroot. So in the next bed along, we've got some swede at the back that is hopefully still growing. It's quite small at the minute. We've got some fennel which is completely overgrown and gone to seed, but it's not doing any harm. It's adding a bit of colour and height and interest to the plot. And then we've got 2 types of beetroot. We've got bull tardy and chioggia, sown at the start of July. So let's pull a couple up. That's the bull tardy, which was what I entered in the competition, and then chioggia, let's have a quick look. So, not too bad, slightly different colour. All very good. Now it's time to go to the next bed along and have a look at some turnips and possibly some parsnips. So in this bed then, at the back, we've got some broad beans. I put the broad beans in October, November last year. It was a very wet winter. They weren't happy. I only got 1 plant that survived and produced beans, so I've left them on the plant. They've dried out, so hopefully I'll be able to sow those beans next year. We've got some turnips at the back. Purple top Milan. Have a closer look at them. Yeah, so we should have some more of those coming through. Quite small, but good enough. Then here we've got some hollow crown parsnips. The leaves are dying back. Sowed these in April. I have no idea if they're any good. The beetroot, you can see them sort of breaking the surface of the soil. You can see if they're big or not. With the turnips, for example, I can see which ones were ready to pull. With these, I have no idea. So we've got a spade. Let's dig 1 or 2 up. Get ready for some disappointment. I don't know. Let's dig one up and find out. Which one? Let's just start on here. Fingers crossed. Tense moment, tense moment. Well, I dug up 4, 2, that one's no good, that one's, but we do, look, they're not the biggest, they're not the biggest, they're not the biggest, but we have parsnips, we have parsnips, and there's maybe 20 or 30 more of those, so smells of parsnip and a little bit of mud. Yeah, so the root vegetables have come good in the end. Right, let's pick the camera up, have a wander down fruit zone. So, if we've done that part of the allotment so far, we've got apple tree, as you can see, all nice and red. Go around the back where the sun doesn't get to as much, not quite so red. Plenty of apples, let's pick one. These need to be, again on that one, we've got a red side and a not ripe side. We've had a few dropping off, a bit of windfall, so let's excuse me a second. Yeah, very good, very good, very good. I'll wait a bit longer to harvest them. A bit more ripe, but all good there. In terms of pears, ready to pick, so it's not been a bad year for pears. If you look at my previous years, so all good there. They're still quite hard. That was a good one. I did read that pears don't actually ripen on the tree. You're supposed to pick them before they ripen from the inside, apparently. So pick them when they're big and ready, and ripen them at home. So I'm going to pick them either today or tomorrow and ripen them at home. We've got some autumn fruiting raspberries. That one's a nice dark colour. Slightly mushy, but very flavourful. In the shed/greenhouse we've got the onions stored at the back, drying, the outer layers out. Let's go in the greenhouse. We have got chilies, fig tree, doing alright. That was just one bare branch when I put it in winter. And we've got some nice peppers. Peppers and chilies. Basket of fire chilies. We've got, I think they're chili shake chilies. A few of those. I think we've got some that are right down here. I think that's a hot lemon yet to ripen and go yellow. So not doing bad for the chilies. Not doing bad for the chilies. And we've got one aubergine. We've got one aubergine. Let's just put my hand in for size. Not normally successful with aubergines. It's probably the limit of my success, but all is good. So we got some nice chilies to come there. Let's wander out. Let's wander out. Nothing to see in here. where plants are and stuff. Potatoes. I dug up the other week here. Morris Piper and King Edward. Just storing there till I can be bothered to take them home. So the pond's doing alright. You can see we haven't had much rain lately. Water level. Anyway, what else to tell? Let's wander down up this bit. There's the verbena and the butterflies. Empty bits. Gladioli that have been and gone. Empty little bits. Got some more verbena up the front here. Let's take a look at it from right from the front. Lovely. Lovely. We've got the strawberry beds that I put in just this year. Got one there with the wood chippings. They're doing okay. This strawberry bed's kind of got taken over by verbena, but I guess it doesn't matter. So again, these are growing, throwing out runners. Plenty more strawberries next year. Got some more beetroot here. This one was a prime cat. Look how you can see it's broken the surface, and you can see how big it is. This was going to be. I thought that's a good beetroot for the show. And when you have a closer look at it, it's got nibbled, but there's nothing wrong with that side. Ignore that side. We can eat that side. Not that there. So I've got some more coming along here. You know, that'll be ready to come out whenever I feel like it. I'll leave them. They might grow a little bit more. We'll wander down. We'll wander down here, and we'll approach this plot, this third of what I've got, in a minute. So here, it's on this middle bit where the first lot of verbena was. All the raspberries, summer fruiting raspberries have been and gone. That's where the oxeye daisies were anyway. We're at the back now. So, of this third of what I've got at the minute, we have got a little bit of rubbish at the back now. That's where our potatoes were, and yes, strawberries slightly overgrown, slightly. It's where the more raspberries and currants were. Now it looks like all the raspberries have gone. But hidden, camouflaged, golden raspberries. This one's going in my mouth. Slightly different flavour to the red ones. All good. Tomatoes. I trimmed all those back numerous times, took all the leaves off the bottoms and around where the tomatoes were. It's getting sort of slightly late in the season. There's an argument I could cut some more greenery off, but I think they're exposed to the sun enough. So we've got some nice ones there that are ripe. But bear in mind where we are in this season. I might take all those tomatoes off and ripen them at home. Wander down here. The archway that I moved, put in position, I was supposed to have sweet peas climbing all over it. We have got sweet peas. Slightly late in the day and not quite as high as I'd expected, but sweet peas providing some nice colour to the plot. Then just here, let's stop and put the camera down and tell you about what these are. So these are Pentland Dell main crop potatoes put in the ground in May. They're slightly behind my other main crop potatoes, Maris Piper King Edward. They've stayed greener longer. I haven't earthed them up at all, but maybe we'll have a dig, take a couple of plants out, see what we've got in terms of potatoes. So I'll just put them in the ground. I haven't done anything with them, maybe the odd watering if it was too dry, but I've just left them. So I'm not expecting much, but let's dig a couple of plants up, see what we've got. Well, apart from me being rushing and being careless, I mean that was the biggest one. We've got some 2 or 3 plants. There's a few more down there. We've got, yeah, I'm happy with that. Considering I just put them in the ground and forgot about them, left them to their own devices. We've maybe got, let me just count the plants. Yeah, maybe got 30 more plants, so I'll be digging those potatoes up in the next couple of weeks. I think they're ready. Could wait for the plants to die down and lose all the leaves, but yeah, no, really pleased with that. There's only a couple of little bits left. There's tomatoes and some fruit trees. Let's just move along slightly that way. So here we are at the second plot of tomatoes. There's 3 at the back that are indeterminate, sort of ones that grow tall. To be honest, I've probably fastened them up right. And these haven't had as much looking after as the tomatoes that we saw a couple of minutes ago. But we've got five cherry tomato bushes. Again, I haven't done anything with these. I've just left them, but as you can see, tomatoes are plenty, and I haven't, touched wood, I haven't been hit by blight this year at all, which is good. So again, I'm going to pick on these, I'm going to pick the red ones and then leave it a week or so, then probably pick the rest and let them ripen at home. I'm just going to go behind the camera and just swivel it slightly that way. So here we have 3 fruit trees. 2 apple and 1 plum. This one nearest is the apple tree, if you're a longer term viewer. I moved it from the back to here. The roots were in a right mess. Basically it had no roots once I pulled it up. There was something wrong with the tree, but topped the top clean off after some great advice from some viewers, and it's started producing buds sort of late winter, and now it just looks, I think it's going to pull through. So that's that apple tree. 2 at the back. I think it's a plum and an apple, just bare root trees put in the ground in winter, so they've grown leaves. Everything is looking fine there. I'm going to pick the camera up again. I'm just going to wander front end of the plot, where for longer term viewers who've watched when I took over this allotment, you will find something is missing. So we move from the apple trees past the buddleia, chop that right back. In springtime it's come back, it has flowered, flowers are now gone, Sabina here. If anyone remembers, there was a caravan on this spot. Beautiful caravan. A lot of nice sort of retro fittings in it, but I wasn't making use of that caravan. I only went in it once, and that was when I took over the plot. So that caravan that was there is now over there and no longer mine or anything to do with me. So look, I wasn't getting use out of it. Look, if I had more time and energy, if I really wanted to, I could have sort of made more use of that, but I wasn't using it, so it's only fair it goes to someone else. But that, where the caravan was, has left some debris. That's where the step where they went with the caravan, all that was underneath it. So that leads me to what the plot inspection snags were, let's call it snags. So basically, look, you got a bit of debris at the front, can you clear that up? And also the bit at the back of this plot, right down the bottom there, where right at the back. So you've got a bit of debris at the front, a bit of stuff at the back. Sort that out. So that stuff at the back's like, there's some bits of concrete, there's some twigs and branches and stuff, so we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. It is not a problem. So you know, plot inspections are always nervous, but completely fair and justified in terms of any sort of action points. So I'll get on with that, and that is it for this week, I think. Phew, what a week, tense times, but it all worked out in the end. Thanks for watching, click subscribe, send me a comment, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.